and welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz Review. Okay, so for this video we're taking a stroll down memory lane to a review I did all the way back when in the past.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Let's check it out. I'm Zak and today we're going to be looking at my Steelbook collection. So I'm going to be going through my DVD Steelbooks, my Blu-ray Steelbooks, my Doctor Who Blu-ray Steelbooks, and finally my 4K Steelbooks. So that's a lot to look forward to, so let's get straight into it. So first up on the DVDs we have The Company of Wolves. My first Steelbook, a good werewolf movie, kind of a surreal retelling of Red Riding Hood. It's interesting, it's kind of quite weird in places, but the transformation scene, that is definitely worth a watch if you want to be creeped out. Next, Machine Girl. Now, by the front cover you can probably deduce that this is about a girl that has a machine gun as an arm. I really don't know that much about this, but I picked it up on the cheap and I'm looking forward to watching it. Highlander the Immortal Edition. Now I really like this one because it kind of has a funky embossed cover. Now I already had this on DVD just as a standard edition and I really want it on Blu-ray, but I saw this in the shop for like ridiculously cheap, so I just had to have it. Get Highlander. You're missing out if you haven't seen this one. Get it. Don't worry about the sequels too much. Next we have a very underrated Hammer horror film, The Curse of the Werewolf. Now it took me forever to see this and I was massively impressed. A lot of modern werewolf tropes we see in movies come from this, so I would definitely recommend it. And this is a limited edition, 1,387 out of 2,000, so I was quite lucky to get my hands on this. Oliver Reed, really good movie, and it's a classic. And it also has postcards that I only just discovered, so yay. That's it for the DVDs, now it's on to the Blu-rays. Now this film I've been intrigued with ever since I learnt about it from Kill Bill, and that is Shogun Assassin. Now this is an absolute treat of a movie. The theme music is amazing, the fighting and the weapons are fantastic. Definitely recommended if you are a Kill Bill fan. Now I was surprised to learn that this is actually the first in a series of Shogun Assassin films. Shogun Assassin being the combination of the Japanese films Sword of Vengeance and Baby Cart on the River Styx, which are part of the Lone Wolf and Cub series. So I definitely want to get my hands on the Criterion Lone Wolf and Cub collection, which is all 6 movies before they got Americanized in Shogun Assassin. I also recommend this because there is a brilliant bonus feature with an interview with Samuel L. Jackson, and he goes full fanboy for these films, and it's an absolute treat to watch. Check it out. Next, the remake of Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman. Now, I have already done a review of this. Now, I still haven't seen this. To my knowledge, this is the 27th Zatoichi film. I've seen the 26th and I wasn't that keen on it, but I have now seen the original and that was, like, by far better than the 26th one. So I'm definitely up for giving this a watch. Zatoichi. Surprisingly, another werewolf film. We have the 2010 version of The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins. This has the theatrical version and the extended director's cut on it. I liked it. It was a good remake, but probably not as good as the original. Good movie, good practical effects. The Wolfman. Resident Evil Retribution. Now, this is the 5th film in the Resident Evil franchise. First few, yeah, I liked them. They were pretty good. But the 5th one, this is the point in the franchise where they tend to get a bit silly, if I'm honest. But I picked this up on the cheap, and I definitely need to go and check out the new Resident Evil film, which I think is called Welcome to Raccoon City, if I'm not mistaken. See if it's any worse than this. Now we have a DC animated movie, Batman and Harley Quinn. Now I was really interested in seeing this because it was supposedly set in the same universe as the Batman animated series. Questionable. It uses the same animation style, and it's kind of a bit bizarre if you ask me. I watched this recently, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. But if you're a Batman fan, check it out. You might enjoy it. For me, not so much. but I have it. So, Batman. And now we're on to my Doctor Who Steelbooks. Now these are the animated reconstructions of the missing Doctor Who episodes. First up we have Galaxy 4. Now this was the most recent one to come out, and as you can see I haven't actually opened it yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Next up we have The Power of the Daleks. Now this was released 50 years after the original broadcast of Patrick Troughton's first story. I didn't quite know what to expect from this, but I enjoyed it. A really good Dalek story, I would definitely recommend it. The Macra Terror. Now I really didn't know what to expect from this one, but when I watched it I was actually pleasantly surprised, so I would definitely recommend this one because it's really good. The Faceless Ones, I enjoyed this a lot more than I expected to, so I definitely recommend it for that. If you want a couple of twists and turns, The Faceless Ones. Evil of the Daleks. Now this is probably one of the most sought after and probably one of my personal favourites of all of these animated reconstructions. The story is not what I expected, but I thought it was an absolute blast. Evil of the Daleks. The Web of Fear. Now I have seen the original version that they released of the Web of Fear with the telestat reconstruction of episode 3, but I haven't seen this version which has the animated episode 3. Now I have heard that the 3D animation on episode 3 is not amazing, but I'll give it a shot, and if it's better than the telestat reconstruction then really good. If not, so fingers crossed, I'm going to give it a go. And finally for the second Doctor we have Fury from the Deep. Now I heard a lot of good things about this, and yes, I can tell you thumbs up. Really good story, really ambitious, really liked it. Definitely check out the animated reconstruction of this because you are missing out if you don't. Now, jumping ahead a bit, we have the Fourth Doctor story, Shada, which is an absolutely fantastic story. I have watched this several times now, and it's an absolute treat. So definitely check it out if you haven't. It's a great shame that they never actually finished filming this, but it's an absolute treat to have, and definitely worth adding into your collection, if you're a Doctor Who fan. If you want me to do a further video taking a closer look at any of these Doctor Who steelbooks, I will happily do so. Just comment below. But for now, let's move on to my 4K steelbooks. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. What hasn't been said about this film? It's absolutely fantastic. Definitely recommended. Features all 3 cuts of the film. Definite thumbs up from me. And Venom Let There Be Carnage. I really enjoyed this movie. Again, a bit short, but definitely worth a watch. Now, if you haven't seen my 4K collection video, please go check that out. Now, since that video was released, I have got a few more, so do expect an update video at some point. But for now, I'm going to leave you with my latest edition, which is Spider-Man No Way Home Steelbook Edition. Now, this was an Amazon exclusive. I cannot praise this film enough. It is absolutely fantastic. Definitely worth a watch. Who hasn't seen it? If you don't like Spider-Man No Way Home, you must be insane. It's absolutely fantastic. Get it and just look at that. Look at that. Spider-Man. It's absolutely wonderful. It's one of the best, if not the best, MCU film that they've done to date. And you've probably seen it already, so I don't need to tell you too much about this. And if one thing's for certain, I am definitely, exceedingly looking forward to seeing this in 4K. And there we have it. That's my Steelbook collection for now, at least.
Well, that was really interesting. I enjoyed that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see. So I'm... Waiting on the cars. Next, we have a very underrated Hammer horror film. Okay. So that's it for the... That's somebody walking down the stairs. So that's it for the DVDs. Now it's on to... something. There's a really big helicopter coming over the house right now. I could have timed that better.